This is a Gumf audio one-off.
Let me tell you what we're going to do with this book.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to decide what adventure to have.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to choose it for ourselves.
Wow, what a novel way to read a novel.
It's novel. Hello! What you were just listening to was the most boring podcast introduction that's ever been made. My name's Connor.
And what you're now listening to is the second most boring podcast introduction ever made. I'm Ben Cotton. And what you're about to hear is a podcast that we recorded on the 15th of October 2021, where we're playing a role-playing book called The City of Thieves.
But Ben, what is a role-playing book?
That's a great question. A role-playing book is like a role-playing game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's in the form of a book, which Connor's going to read to me. And he's going to give me the choices and options that will allow me to guide my character through this mystical fantasy adventure in the City of Thieves.
That's right. The City of Thieves is the name of this book. It's written by Ian Livingstone. He's an author who wrote 10, 15, some crazy number of these books, and we've played 3 or 4 of them. And we can say honestly that almost always they end with your player character getting brutally murdered or dying through some pathetic means, whether it's getting stabbed in the face by a spear or hearing a bell that's so loud that you become paralysed and then get stabbed in the face by a spear. But they're still very fun.
Absolutely, yeah, and don't let that put you off, because I think that I'm going to find the happy ending in this adventure, but you'll have to wait and see.
Well, we've already listened to it. We know that that's...
Okay.
Okay, well, don't spoil anything. Without further ado, strap in and listen to something that you might call, like, it's okay.
Yeah, enjoy.
City of Thieves by the author Ian Livingstone. City of Thieves. Yes, we read it and it went
started in a lab.
Who knows why we kept on reading it and didn't stop?
A fad, the
Why we
vax
kept
will
on
kill you
recording it for God.
I thought I was going to go to the...
We are about to start Ian Livingstone's City of Thieves.
Ooh, you know what? I think I used to own this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we both owned a few of these books, didn't we? Without knowing that this was a shared interest, perhaps, of ours. We both owned a couple of different issues, let's say. And I think this was one of the ones I had. I think I had maybe 3 of them.
I'm assuming that this is a very old edition, because on the back it says in the UK it's sold for £1.75, and you'd be paying upwards of 80, 90 quid for these books now.
Yeah.
But that's inflation for you. Ian Livingstone lived in a time pre-inflation, post-decimalisation, but pre-inflation.
Exactly, he lived in the pre-inflation era. Is there a URL on the back of the book? That's usually
that's a great
gauge.
No.
I seem to remember it had
not.
a bit of a fan club website that they advertised on the back pages of the ones from when we were kids, and they would invite you into a little online portal where you could print out bookmarks. If that sounds like your cup of tea.
That's old and new. Actually, it's so old. The ISBN number on the back
is 1.
That is used for, it's 1. It's the first book to go in the library.
Book number 2, the Bible. This is like the 13th fighting fantasy book as well. So the rest of them were all folklore. They were passed around orally. That's as AU orally, by the way, around campfires.
Cheeky.
Oh.
Well, interestingly, the Bible was also a choose-your-own-adventure book by Ian Livingstone. But we'll do that on another day. So without further ado, do you want to tell us who is about to take an adventure into the City of Thieves?
Yeah, I guess I will. Now, for context, we've, in our previous playthroughs, developed a little bit of a family tree of our protagonists. It began with the inimitable Keith Portugal, and he died in...
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. I've actually written R.I.P. next to his name on my notes because he did perish in the Death Trap dungeon. He was.
How did he die again?
I think he got quite. No, he didn't. No, Keith Portugal Senior, and we'll discover why he's a senior. Keith Portugal Senior died when he saw a trapdoor, and he ascended the ladder. He knocked on the trapdoor. A goblin opened the trapdoor, stabbed him with a spear, and that was Keith Portugal.
He died from being too polite.
He did.
If he didn't knock on the door, he would have been fine. But...
Yeah. He was too polite for his own good, and he ended up with a shaft through his face. Now he was.
How did who followed Keith Portugal?
Well, he was superseded by, I believe it was Keith Portugal Jr. He was the next man into the dungeon. He is the son of Keith Portugal Sr., as you may have guessed, and he also perished. R.I.P. How did he perish? I feel like he got the furthest end. Can you remember how he died?
No, Keith Portugal Jr. did not get the furthest end.
Did he not?
No, Keith Portugal Jr. approached a bell, rang the bell, and the bell was so loud that he couldn't move. He got paralysed by how... And this was maybe 3 pages into the book. One of the first things that he did in the Death Trap dungeon, following in the footsteps of his late father, was ring a bell, go, oh, that's a loud bell, get paralysed, fall onto the floor, and then get stabbed in the neck by a goblin. I'm almost certain that's what happened to Keith Portugal.
Yes, that really does ring a bell, actually. Keith Portugal Jr. Yeah, you're quite right. He rung a bell, but he got his bell rung, and he died as well. So that's the father and son combination. The third man into the Death Trap dungeon was Mr. Martin Portugal. Who I believe was the brother of Keith Portugal Senior. So he was Keith Portugal Junior's uncle. If you're with me, if you're following me,
if you're following, I'm there. I don't know if they're there.
I'm sure they are. It's not convoluted at all. Now Martin Portugal, he definitely got the furthest. He was much further than his his brother and nephew.
He died a couple of times, didn't he? Because we didn't want to give up. Yeah, Martin Portugal. Yeah, we did cheat a little bit, yeah. I think Martin Portugal died walking through a fake exit to the Death Trap dungeon, which turned out to be a trap, and he just got stuck in a room until he starved to death. So you can really see that Ian Livingstone's a fucking nutbag. And then later on he died trying to fight a dwarf or something.
He ended up in some kind of arena, didn't he? He befriended a barbarian who was a fellow competitor in the dungeon, and they sort of mated along together like two gullies, and they pitted against each other in some kind of fight to the death. And
it was fucked.
Yeah, it was pretty sickening actually, and I'm pretty worried about our next character.
Well, who is our next character?
Well, our next character, I haven't actually thought of who it's going to be. I think it's not going to be a blood relation to any of the Portugals, but I'm sure we'll mix them into the tapestry of the Portugal lore. I'm going to say my character is Bianca.
We'll cut out this hesitation because this really...
No. This shows you how hard I'm thinking about it.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Bianca the Great.
And what a great name it is. Bianca the Great. Tell us a bit about Bianca.
Bianca the Great, she has mousy brown hair. She wears a jumper.
A jumper question mark?
No, a jumper exclamation mark, young man. She wears a jumper exclamation mark. She likes tennis and cribbage.
No.
Don't ask her what cribbage is, because I don't think
you know what cribbage is.
It's like cabbage, but babies can sleep inside it.
Well, before we start in Bianca the Great's journey, we'll need to learn a little bit more about her. To the fate of the dice. You've got 3 traits: skill, stamina, and luck. And now we're going to roll some dice
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what Bianca the Great's skill, stamina, and luck are.
Yeah, you sort of it's randomly assigned, isn't it? They function a little bit like Dungeons and Dragons characters, where these abilities will affect how easy Bianca. What was her name? Bianca the Great. Yeah, Bianca the Great. How easy and how stress free Bianca the Great's journey through the City of Thieves is going to be.
So let's set Bianca's skill.
Mm-hmm.
To do that, you're going to roll 1 die and add 6.
Right, 1 die, and that's a 2, and add 6
So
is
she's shit. 8.
Yep, 8.
Right, so that's a shocking start. Let's see if she's got a lot of stamina. Roll 2 die and add 12.
2 dice and
ma-
add 12.
Yeah, there's a maximum of 24 here.
Okay, it's a 2 and a 1.
So that's shit.
Yeah.
Bianca sucks.
What do we add to that? 3? Is it 100?
12.
Oh. Okay, 15. And finally, luck is the third attribute of Bianca's. And she's going to need
gonna
to be
roll-
lucky as well.
Yeah, because she's shit.
Yeah.
Roll 1 die and add 6.
It's a 1.
Are you kidding me?
No, well, I wouldn't.
Alright, here's some background coming up. Hopefully we can get some medieval sounding music.
Mm-hmm.
We'll assume it's a fantasy setting and the City of Thieves isn't just like Croydon or something like that. You are an adventurer in a world of monsters and magic, living by quickness of wit and skill of sword. You earn your gold as a hired warrior, usually in the employ of rich nobles and barons on missions too dangerous or difficult for their own men. Slaying monsters and fearsome beasts in pursuit of fabled treasure comes as second nature to you. Being an experienced and highly trained swordsman or woman, you allow nothing to stand in your way on your quests. Your success on a mission is always assured, and your reputation has spread throughout the lands, as the Great, obviously. Whenever you enter a village or town, the news of your arrival spreads through the citizens like wildfire, as few of them have ever met a dragon slayer before. Whoa, you slayed dragon, that's sick. One evening, after a long walk through the outlands, you arrive in Silverton, which lies at the crossroads of the main trading routes in these parts. Over the years, Silverton has prospered as a result of the rich merchants and traders stopping there en route to distant markets. Its wealth is quite apparent, with ornate buildings and richly dressed people, but as you enter the town gates, something strikes you as being not quite right. The people seem nervous and on edge. Then you notice that all the windows on the buildings have great iron grills bolted over them.
That's
And
great.
the doors have been strengthened too. Although you prefer your own company to that of others, you decide to stay in Silverton for the night to find out who or what is troubling the people. As you walk down the main street, I'll tell you, we're not even a quarter of the way through. We're going to have to cut more than half of this out because this is boring as fuck. As you walk down the main street, a single note from a bell rings out from a tall tower overhead. Then a man shouts, almost desperately, "Nightfall! Nightfall! Everybody indoors!" You see people scurrying around with anxious faces and looking surprised when they see you. Across the street you see a tavern with the words "The Old Toad" painted on its signboard. As you enter the tavern, a whisper runs through the locals as they recognise you. Some put down their mugs and stare. You are somewhat surprised that none come over to you to hear tales of adventure. Walking over to the counter, you ask the old innkeeper for a room and a hot tub. That's hot tub, not hot tub. But he ignores you and shuffles over to the great oak door, pushing 6 iron bolts into place. Only then does he turn to you and say quietly, "That will be 5 copper pieces for the room and 1 more for the tub, in advance if you please." You reach into the leather pouch on your belt and toss the coins on the counter. He hands you an iron key, but at that very moment there is a loud knocking at the door, followed by a voice shouting, "Open up! Open up! This is Owen Caroliff!" The old innkeeper shuffles to the oak door again and slides open the bolts. Then a fat and balding man dressed in a rich scarlet robe bursts into the tavern, looking around frantically. He sees you and walks quickly in your direction, huffing and puffing. He is a man certainly not used to haste. You notice great beads of sweat on his forehead in the pale candlelight of the room. As he nears you, he calls out urgently, "Stranger, I must speak with you. Please sit down. It is important that I speak with you." Being curious, you decide to hear what the man has to say. He pulls out a chair for you at a table, bidding you to sit down, and the innkeeper bustles in with a tray laden with hot broth, roast goose and mead. The man in the scarlet robe sits opposite in silence, watching you as you feast as though examining for some purpose of his own. I'm not reading that again. I want it clean, but it's also boring. I don't know which bits we're just going to end up cutting. Finally, as you push your plate away, the man leans forward and says in a low but anxious voice, "Stranger, I know of you and seek your aid. My name is Owen Caroliff, and I am the mayor of Silverton. We are in great trouble and danger. We are living under a curse, and it is I who must rid us of it. 10 days ago, 2 messengers of evil rode into town on huge black stallions. Stallions with fiery red eyes. It was impossible to see the faces of the riders, for they wore long black cloaks with hoods pulled over their faces. Their voices were cold, and each word spoken ended with an unnerving hiss. They asked me by name, and then when I came to greet them, they wanted to take my beloved daughter, Miral Caroliff. They wanted to take my beloved daughter, Miral Caroliff, to stay with their master, Zanbar Bone. No doubt you know that he is the Night Prince. Of course, I refused their demand, and without another word, they turned and rode slowly out of the town, heads down and shoulders hunched. I knew then that beneath the cloaks were hidden the skeletal and soulless bodies of spirit stalkers. Zanbar Bone always uses them as his messengers, as they will complete their mission or die in the attempt, and they do not die easily. Only a silver arrow through the heart will release those evil beings from their eternal twilight existence. Who knows what it would take to kill Zanbar Bone? Anyway, that same night after the spirit stalkers left, our troubles began. The Night Prince was angry and determined to harm us. 6 moondogs came, each stronger than 4 men, each with razor-sharp fangs. They stalked through the town, entering homes through open windows and killing the poor people inside. In the morning, we counted 23 dead, so we barred our windows and bolted our doors. Yet each night the moondogs return, and we are unable to sleep for fear that they will find their way into our homes. Some people are now talking of sending Morel to Zanbar Bone. Those whimpering traitors, I should have them flogged. But what good would that do? There is but one hope, and that rests with you, stranger. There is a man called Nicodemus who, for reasons I'll never understand, lives in Port Blacksand. The place is commonly called the City of Thieves, as it is the home of every pirate, brigand, assassin, thief, and evildoer for hundreds of miles around. I think he lives there just to do some peace from us. I think he lives there just to get some peace from people like us. He is a wise old wizard, and is unlikely to come to much harm, even in Port Blacksand, for his magical powers are great. He alone is capable of defeating Zanbar Bone. He used to be a friend of mine many years ago. We need him, and I beg you to bring him to us. You will be well rewarded. If you help us, stranger, take these 30 gold pieces for your journey, and take this sword to use and keep. You must set off at the first light of dawn. The moondogs will be gone by then. I shall be forced to stay the night here also, so let's drink to our destiny, and may the gods be with us. By dawn, you are already awake and dressed, and determined to reach Port Blacksand, quickly, to find this man Nicodemus. As you leave the tavern, a black cat scurries past your feet, and you almost trip. A bad omen, perhaps? and that's it. That's the premise. And that took 15 minutes to read.
Yeah, it felt like a long time, and honestly, I didn't listen to any of it.
Right, yeah, I didn't either. I kind of blacked out.
Let's go from the top.
Okay. You're in Port Blacksand. So essentially, Bianca the Great has one job and one job only, and that is to help the people of this town, Silverton,
slay some dogs or something.
Yeah, well, you've got to find a wizard called Nicodemus, and he's going to help you kill the dogs. So, eventually you reach the coast and see the high city wall surrounding Port Blacksand and the cluster of buildings projecting into the sea like an ugly black mark. Following the dusty road north along the coast to the city gates, you begin to notice fearful warnings. Skulls on wooden spikes, starving men in iron cages suspended from the city wall, and black flags everywhere. Everywhere. As you approach the main gate, a chill runs down your spine and you instinctively grip the hilt of your broadsword for assurance. At the gate you are confronted by a tall guard wearing black chainmail coat and iron helmet. He steps forward, barring the way with his pike, saying,
"Who would enter Port Blacksand uninvited? State the nature of your business or go back the way you came."
Will you tell him you wish to be taken to Nicodemus? Will you tell him you wish to sell some stolen booty? Or will you attack him quickly with your sword?
Mr. Guardsman, I wish to sell some stolen booty.
You tell the guard that you wish to sell some silver chalices that you stole from a tavern in Silverton, and that you will pay him a gold piece for his advice as to where to go for the best price. The guard looks at you suspiciously, saying,
"Let me look at these chalices in your backpack before I admit you."
Show me the cups.
"Let me see that booty." "Turn around, girl, let me see that booty."
Will you tell him that you know the chalices are cursed and should only be examined by a mage? Or try to run past the guard into the main street? Or attack him quickly with your sword?
Mr. Guardsman, I know this cutlery that I've pilfered from the pub, which seems like quite a small time crime now that I say it. I know that they're cursed, so you might want to keep your filthy little fingers out of my swag bag.
The guard frowns and says,
"A likely story, I'm sure, but I suppose you are just the same as all the rest inside this city. You may enter at your own peril, or buy my advice for 3 gold pieces."
This guy's advice reeks to me of a prank.
Don't
I
eat
feel like
yellow
the advice
snow.
is going to be that, or don't pay 3 gold pieces for advice, which is good advice. I'm going to take that advice preemptively. I'm going to head past this loon.
if we know anything about Ian Livingstone, if you were to buy that guy's advice, it would have been poisonous advice.
Exactly,
It would have
the
killed
advice
you.
would have been, "Here's my pike."
Through the main gates, you see that the rubbish-filled streets of the port are narrow
so
and
rubbish.
cobbled. These are fucking crap streets. Old and decrepit buildings line them closely, and with their upper stories overhanging menacingly, you may go west down Quay Street, head north along Market Street, or go east down Clock Street. This is a very open world adventure book, isn't it? Because you're usually just on rails going into a cave or whatever.
Yeah,
You've got
but we're now in some
3
kind of
options here.
shopping centre, some kind of commercial hub area.
Yeah.
Where
Where will you
what
go?
were the 3 streets? There was Clock Street, Market Street,
And Quay Street.
Quay Street.
Not
Clocks-
Keith. Don't get
Oh,
don't get
Mr.
distracted.
Portugal. I'm gonna go for
Clock Street?
Clock Street, yeah.
Walking along the narrow street, you see a man wearing tattered rags sitting in the gutter. His head rests on his hands, and he looks thoroughly miserable.
Cheer up, mate. It might never happen. I'll stop and
Are you
have a
gonna talk
gab.
to him?
Yeah, with this tatty old man. She's gonna say, cheer up, Doc. It might never happen." And then I'll sort of elbow him
Oh
amicably.
no, she's a prick. Bianca the prick. As you approach the man, he suddenly springs up and screams at the top of his voice. He produces a dagger from his ragged clothing and leaps at you. His wild eyes belong to a man insane or possessed.
Oh, you could have
and
told
must
me that
fight
in the
him.
description.
We've got to go into a fight now.
We're in combat with this dirty old man.
Yeah, and he's got 5 skill. and
That's
5
3
stamina.
less than me.
Oh, mate, you
Story
never
time.
picked a potion.
Oh, do I get to pick a potion?
Yeah, you get a potion of skill, which restores your skill points, a potion of strength, which restores all your stamina points, or a potion of fortune, which restores your luck points and adds 1 initial luck. Ooh.
Do I have any provisions?
You'll have 10 provisions.
Okay. And can I scoff those at any juncture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bianca the Great's going to go with a skill potion.
A Scotian.
A Scotian, yeah.
Okay, so Bianca the Great now has a skill potion. So what's going to happen is you're going to roll both dice for Bianca. I'm going to roll both dice for what the book is lovingly calling Madman. And whoever has the highest when we add our skill points will take 2 health points or stamina points off the other player.
Okay.
Ooh, he's got 16 there.
Bianca's rolled a 5. No, she's rolled an 8. She's rolled a 5 and a 3, which is 8. And she's going to add her skill of 8, which is
16. If we match, nobody wins. Nothing
wins.
happens. So it's already a very interesting fight.
Ooh,
Nothing's
they're well
happened.
matched. Bianca and Madman. Round
Oh yeah,
2.
Madman's fucking the mad bastard. He's got 16 again.
Ugh, it's better than me. I've got a 13.
Right, take 2 stamina points off of Bianca. What stamina is she on?
She's on 13, which is unlucky for some, including Bianca, who's about to lose 13 more health points.
It's not lucky for anybody.
No. Okay.
You ready again?
Round 3.
Oh, he's only got 9.
15.
Right, he's now on 3
Go
stamina.
on, Bianca.
She's turning the tides now.
She is.
15.
Bianca has rolled a 6 plus 8. She's got a 14.
Bloody hell.
Jesus
This is some of the worst fighting we've had in the history of us playing these games 4 times.
It is, and this is one of the more pathetic baddies as well.
And the more pathetic players.
Yeah, and the
You
players
had
have
some
been
of the
quite
worst dice
pathetic
rolls
as
I've
well.
ever seen.
Okay, round 5. Bianca's coming back into this. She's got 16.
14. Right. He's now on 1 stamina. One more pithy little blow from
One more
from
slash
Bianca's
from
going to get
Bianca.
him.
And her bash is 11.
13.
Unlucky for some.
Jesus. This is insane.
She's struggling here. She's on 9 stamina. She's down from 15. Okay.
I don't see Bianca lasting long at all.
Well, it doesn't matter how we began. It's about picking yourself up after adversity. And she is going to pick herself up. She's going to get a 15.
9. You win. You fucking chop up this mad bloke. And 10 more mad blokes show up. Now you have to fight all of them. A leather pouch hanging round the neck of the man contains a small glass ball containing what looks like swirling smoke. Will you smash the ball on the ground, put the ball in your backpack, or leave the ball behind and continue east?
I'm going to make a judgment from his insane eyes and guess that maybe he stared into this or he engaged with this ball in some fashion and it made him go loco. So, ever the iconoclast, Bianca is going to smash the ball.
Smash it?
On the cobbles, yeah.
Alright,
She's
there's a
gonna dunk
smoke
it.
in there. I feel like this is going to be poison smoke, surely.
Well, we've got 9 stamina points to play with. This is got to be a pretty smoky ball to choke out old Bianca the Great.
The
Smash.
glass ball shatters on impact with the cobbled street.
Yes.
On contact with the air, the smoke turns a golden colour
Ooh,
and
that's a
begins to
good
take
colour.
the shape of a winged helmet.
Ooh.
The helmet solidifies and rests on the street, sparkling in the sunlight.
And crushes Bianca's skull. Permanent
And
brain
eats
damage.
It is the most magnificent helmet you have ever seen. You wish to place it on your head. Turn to 376, or if you would rather leave it alone and set off
no,
east
there shouldn't
again.
be a choice now. If this was good, we'd be plonking this right on our noggin and we'd have a big gold head.
Is it what drove him mad?
I don't know, because if it was ensconced within the glassy ball, then
How did it get back in?
Exactly, yeah. I am going to plonk this on my head. New bit of headwear.
You're plonking it on your head.
Yeah.
The helmet fits on your head perfectly, as though it had been specifically made for you. It has magic properties also, and will allow you to add 1 point to all future dice rolls when computing your attack strength. What?
No way, Bianca, that is mad.
What? Hold on. It will allow you to add 1 point to all future dice rolls when computing your attack strength during combat, as long as you wear it. That's
Magic
insane.
Fucking helmet. Let's write that down on the character sheet.
And it says add 1 luck point.
Whoa!
How's that?
Crikey! She's on 8
You made
luck.
2 decisions in this game so far, and it's like, hey, oh, you've been a good lad. Have this mega buff.
You managed to kill Madman.
The street makes a sudden left turn and continues north as far as you can see. However, you notice that round the corner the houses are much bigger, with doorways some 4 metres high. On the left side of the street, you see that a door to one of the houses is open. If you wish to enter the house, turn to 245, or if you wish to keep going northwards, turn to 282.
Can we remember how much stamina eating our provisions restores?
And chomp some scran.
Yeah, I'm going to tramp, I think, a single item of scran to get me from 9 stamina to 13.
So, do you wish to enter this house where there's just a door that's open? Do you wish to break and enter, essentially? Or do you want to go northwards?
Yeah, well, as this is the City of Thieves, and with the phrase break and enter fresh in my mind, I feel like if I go in here, I'm going to enter into a mid-burglary situation and discover some other louts in there, skinning
That's
the
true,
place.
or if you also start thieving, you're just going to fit in well and you're going to have a better time.
This is true, yeah. Endear myself to the denizens of
yeah, well, that's
Sin
the
City.
that's the people who live in this house. It's John and Mary Dennison.
Let's go pay the denizens a visit then. I was going to walk on by, but let's see what's cracking in the Dennison household.
You enter a large room with brown walls and a straw-covered floor. There is a musty smell hanging in the air, which reminds you of the dirty old cave trolls that live on the northern borders. In the middle of the room is a table made from half a barrel with some roughly made stools around it. A high archway leads through the room to the back of the house, where you hear a low murmuring voice. If you want to walk through the archway, or would you want to leave the house and continue north?
I'm enjoying the decor of the Dennison's household. I love this upturned barrel table. I feel like on the walls there's going to be maybe some metal prints of pin-up girls and maybe Coca-Cola signs and bits of sort of paraphernalia of that description. I'm going to advance towards the muttering.
The muttering is calling you further. The archway leads into a room, in the centre of which a human-like creature crouches some 3
I don't like the
metres
phrase
tall.
human-like. I
Yeah,
prefer the
that's
phrase
not
human.
good. But here's something for you. He looks very worried and is muttering to himself.
A nervous
The
ninny.
lumps on his face are distinguishing marks of an ogre. Will you attempt to speak with him, attack him with your sword, or leave the house and head north?
You know what?
It's giving you 3 chances to head north.
I don't need my arm to be twisted any more than it already has. Let's go north. Let's back out of this situation. Let's de-escalate.
You're just bouncing.
The ogre can sit in the middle of the room nervously
nervous, mate. He's
as much as he
upset.
likes. That's fine. That's not a crime,
Do you
is
not
it?
wanna go and
That's not a
calm
crime.
him down?
In this criminal underworld, is crouching in the middle of an empty room, going, I'm so nervous. Is that a crime? Not in Bianca's book. Let's turn back and go northwards.
Fair dues. I have it on good authority, actually. He was nervous about his UCAS points.
Is my Duke of Edinburgh award going to set me apart from the other prospective students at Durham?
He wants to get into DMU, but it's not going to happen for him. On the right side of the street, you see a large wooden barrel and a small boy sitting beside it on a stool. If you wish to talk to the boy, turn to 119, or if you wish to keep walking north, turn to 247.
Let's go and chat to
You
a
do.
boy. Why not?
You're going to end up killing this boy, aren't you? He's going to turn out to be...
I've got +1 to all my dice rolls now, boy.
You're going to chat to this boy and he's going to go, I've just fucking mugged an ogre in that house. And he looked well nervous when I left. The small boy smiles and thrusts a tin mug into your hand. He tells you the barrel contains sparkling water, which
Spunk.
cures ills. To fill the mug costs 3 gold pieces. At the bottom of the mug is a My Little Pony. He says he wants you to fill it with spunk. If you wish to drink the water, turn to 233, or if you would rather keep your gold and walk north, turn to 247.
I'm not scoffing this lad's spunk for £3. No way. Let's go northwards. That's it. No, let's play the game. Let's play the game.
It's sparkling water, it says, so that's just like Harrod Garden.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't really like sparkling. Have we got still?
Let's do it. 233. You're going to drink the fucking smart water. The sparkling water is refreshing, but not as medicinal as the small boy claimed. Add 1 stamina point to your total. You shake your fist at the boy in mock anger and set off north. What a weird thing. You take a swig and then go, that's not as medicinal as you said it was. Why I order?
Do I add 1 stamina? Do I add 1 stamina point to my total or my current?
Yeah, to your
score?
total.
Okay, so we're up to 16 now.
The street makes a sharp turn to the left and continues west for some distance. Turning the corner, you're suddenly jumped on by 3 short, stocky assailants
3 wee
who
guys.
are hiding down an alley. Yeah, 3 wee guys come out of nowhere. 2 grab your legs and 1 tries to knock you out with a cudgel. Test your luck. If you are lucky, you manage to duck to avoid the blow. Or if you're unlucky, the cudgel lands heavily on the back of your head. So testing luck, I believe, was rolling 2 dice.
It has to be lower, doesn't it?
Yeah. What have you rolled?
I have rolled 10.
Right, so you're unlucky.
Yeah.
You wake up feeling dazed with a large lump on your head. Your backpack lies open by your side, and you're annoyed to discover that half your gold... Oh no! All your gold!
What?
All your gold has been stolen. Those thieving dwarves.
Did it actually say
You
half
stand
your
up-
gold, nay, all your gold?
No, I just can't read. All your gold has been stolen. Those thieving dwarves.
Bastards.
You stand up and set off west down the street.
I didn't even
me.
know how much gold I had. But now I do, it's
Well-
0.
On the left side of the street is a flower shop. That window is filled with exotic and colourful flowers. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 145, or if you prefer to keep walking west, turn to 24.
I mean, it seems incongruous, doesn't it, to have just a pleasant florist shop in the middle of this sinful urban environment where we've been set upon by 3 youths, we've drank spunk from a barrel, we've killed a mentally ill man and stole his ball. But are we going to go in the florists? I could do with a bouquet, actually. I'd like to
You
bring...
can't afford it, you got no quiche.
Can I use my natural charm? Hey,
Well,
give me some roses. Yeah.
it's worth a go.
Do
you wanna go into the florist?
Charm, let's march in. I'd like to hear a dingly little bow as I open the door.
Inside the shop, an old woman is busily watering the flowers and plants. She looks up and smiles, saying, "Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Pipe. Can I interest you in some of my special flowers?" If you wish to see what she has to offer, turn to 293, or if you wish to leave the shop, refuse politely and head west, turn to 24.
Let's hear out Mrs. Pipe.
She explains that she has just picked one of her golden flowers. There are 10 golden petals on the flower, and you were told that if dipped in dog's blood, each petal plucked and thrown on the ground,
Big F.
each petal will change into a gold piece. Mrs. Pipe asks for any magic item, piece of armour, or food, 2 portions of your provisions, in exchange for the golden flower. If you wish to trade with Mrs. Pipe, make the necessary changes to your adventure sheet. If you do not wish to trade, then leave the shop and head west.
Right, now, she kind of said that as if that the prerequisite of killing a dog for a quid was was fine. That's going to be okay. That's going to swim. But
Well, she's saying it like there's a bunch of dogs that are just dead easy to kill about the town.
yeah, and well, we've been forewarned by fucking Owen Coyle or whoever it was that there's going to be a lot of rabid hounds. But
they were back in Silverton.
yeah, but she's bringing them up again. It's going to be absolutely rammed with the things. But I don't want to be ripping off petals and slopping them around in dead dog blood for a quid, basically.
Well,
for a third of a
flower-
spunky drink.
Each flower has 10 golden petals, though.
Ooh, well. Man, I'm not flush with cash at the moment.
But yeah, it would become 10 quid.
That now you're speaking Bianca the Great's language for a tenner. That, you can do a lot with a tenner. You can buy 3 spunky drinks.
Yeah, and it would cost you 2 foods.
Yeah, I don't think we've even got remotely close to any of our previous characters eating all of their available scran, have we? She's gonna, let's face it, she's gonna be dead and buried well before she has 9 more fucking bomb cakes. So yeah, let's trade in 2 food for this flower.
Right, well, add golden flower with
flower.
10 petals onto your character sheet.
Golflow 10 pet.
Why, aye, man. So, you leave the shop, and there is another shop on the left side of the street. An iron grill over the window prevents you seeing what kind of shop it is. You try the handle on the door and it turns. If you want to enter the shop, turn to 336, and if you wish to go west without looking in the shop, go to 196.
So we just encountered with a mystery retailers now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably a shut down H. Samuels, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't got our keys yet to have them cut. What were we buying? Shoe polish.
You're thinking of Timpson's.
Can you not do
H. Samuel is a jeweller's.
Can you not do keys and stuff in H. Samuels?
That's like doing keys and stuff in a Pandora shop.
I do my keys and stuff in a Pandora shop because then you get nice little charms, don't you? You can get a little diamondy panda on your garage keys.
I mean, Pandoras are basically just key rings for your arms, aren't they? So it does make sense.
Yeah. Let's go in. Let's open. Let's hear another dingly little bell.
Once inside the shop, you realise why the windows are barred. It is a jeweller's shop.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That was just genuinely a guess. Standing behind the glass counter is a huge, bald-headed man with an eye patch covering his left eye.
iPad.
With an
left
iPad
patch.
Mini. He's got an iPad Mini and he's playing Bad Piggies. He gives you a welcoming smile, but the sight of his ugly mouth with his few black stained teeth does not inspire confidence. A large battle axe hangs conveniently behind the man to deter any would-be robbers. On display are several ornate rings inset with diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and characters from Beauty and the Beast. The man asks whether you are buying or selling. Will you ask the price of the rings, offer to sell him gems, if you have any gems, and you don't, so don't go there, or attack him with your sword?
Let's see what the price of the ring is, why not?
Well, you can always ask, can't you?
Yeah, of course.
The man leans on the counter and tells you that a ring of invisibility costs 10 gold pieces, a ring of fire costs 8 gold pieces, starring Johnny Cash, and a ring of ice costs 7 gold pieces. If you wish to buy one of the rings, but you can't, so are you just going to leave?
Yeah, let's disappear.
You arrive at a 4-way junction in the street. The street continuing west changes its name to Key Street, and the street running north and south is called Market Street. Looking north, you see a crowd of people walking up the street cheering loudly and waving their arms in the air. You decide to follow them. Oh, wow, so you don't... I thought this was a choose your own adventure, not
Read
just a
your own
fucking
adventure book.
Yeah.
Read your own story book. Read the story book. Read my adventure book.
Are you done?
Let's think of what more. Consume my quest novel.
As you catch up with the chanting crowd, you see that they are carrying eggs and rotten tomatoes. Soon the street opens out into a large market square. All round the edge are stalls with vendors, hawkers, musicians and entertainers carrying on their business. In the middle of the square is an elevated pillory. Above the noise of the crowd, a trumpet sounds, and the crowd starts to pelt the man in the pillory with rotten food. An old woman standing next to you offers you 2 eggs to throw. Not wishing to appear to be an outsider, you take the eggs and hurl them, but as you do so, the old woman picks your pocket without you noticing. Lose 1 gold piece or any one item that you have. Unaware of your loss, you walk away from the crowd to look at the various stalls. That sucks, mate, so you've got to get rid of one of your items because you don't have any gold.
This doesn't come across as harsh, but what a cunt.
Yeah, well, it is the City of Thieves, mate. Even the oldies
That's
are
true.
boldies.
Yeah, let's scratch off this gold flower, because I wasn't going to use that.
Walking north along the west side of the square, you see a man dressed in purple velvet playing a lyre. If you wish to stop and listen, turn to 3, or if you'd rather walk past him, turn to 398. So do you fancy listening to... I'm assuming this is Prince, dressed in purple velvet.
No, I'm not going to listen to Prince playing his ugly guitar / lyre, because I feel like he's going to try and strong arm me into paying him. He's going to be an aggressive busker, and as we've established, I haven't got the disposable income for this sort of thing.
You're so skint.
Tell me about it.
Right, so you're not going to bother listening to him.
Yeah, fuck him.
A small circle of people is standing around a... Oh, the copy that I've got is kind of blurred here. I'm going to guess just some of these
It's
words.
going to be another spunky barrel.
A small circle of people is standing around a bare-chested man. He is enormous and his muscles look as hard as iron.
Ooh.
He is asking the crowd for a volunteer to play catch with a cannonball. He states that whoever drops the cannonball must pay the other 5 gold pieces. If you wish to take him on this game, turn to 378, or if you'd rather walk on, turn to 52. Now this is a chance for you to get some
Let's
hard
take him
cash
on the
here.
fucking game. And let's
gonna do
not
it?
lose.
Right.
Here's local
378.
strong man. I'll take up the challenge.
Me, fucking Bianca, who's
Rich
got
old
6
Bianca.
skill.
And 5 gold pieces. I promise.
Okay, so the way this is going to work, you're going to roll 1 die for you, and I'll roll 1 die for the bare-chested man. And we'll repeat this until a 1 is thrown, in which case the cannonball will have been dropped, and the loser, whoever rolled the 1, will pay the other 5 gold pieces.
Ah, very interesting.
Now,
Okay.
you're in a bit of luck, because there's not an option for not having the cash to pay him.
Wait. Have that one, Livingston.
Yeah, you might have just found a cheeky little workaround
Yeah.
here. So let's roll until one of us gets a 1.
Okay.
Oh shit! I got a 1.
Yes! What a weakling! He couldn't even throw it to me. He dropped it on his toe when he tried to throw it to me. That goes! That's a drop!
The
That's a drop!
bare-chested man. He's all talk, this guy.
Yes.
So yeah, you get five gold coins.
Love
then.
it. Bianca's absolutely played him. 5 gold pieces. There we go. Let's play again, you puny little boy.
Behind the next stall is a young man selling small weapons and items of equipment. The price of his wares are chalked up on a slate. There's throwing knives for 4 gold pieces, climbing rope for 2 gold pieces, a butcher's meat hook for 2 gold pieces, an iron spike for 1 gold pieces, or a lantern for 3. What, are you going to purchase anything?
Bianca the Great has got her eye on some rope and the lantern.
Are you just spunking all your 5 gold on this shop?
Yeah, because do they not really to you reek of like puzzle items? Well, we'll get to
Yeah,
it. We'll get
definitely.
to a stage and it'll go, if you've got the rope, turn to such and such. If not, turn to such and such. And I want to be turning to the first such and such with my rope and lantern.
At the end of the market, a street named Bridge Street runs north out of the square. You decide to walk down it in the hope of finding the elusive Nicodemus. It starts to rain and the tumble-down houses huddled together on either side of the street look as if they need shelter themselves.
Aww.
Most have their windows boarded up and are pretty empty. The door to one flaps noisily in the wind. If you wish to take refuge in the derelict house until the rain stops, turn to 188, and if you'd rather press on ahead, turn to 31.
Let's press on. Let's stop fannying around.
Ahead, you see a wooden bridge stretching over a dirty river. Various bits of rubbish are floating down to the sea on its black surface, and you squirm at the sight of a human hand passing by. The bridge supports and columns reach high above, and you see skulls, both human and non-human, tied to them. The wind makes an eerie noise as it whistles through the bridge structures, reminding you of tortured souls crying out for help. Almost hidden from view is a small flight of steps going down underneath the bridge from where you are standing. A one-legged man carrying a sack is crossing the bridge from the northern bank.
Santa!
If you wish to climb down the steps, turn to 329, or if you wish to wait to talk to the man, turn to 364.
Let's have a gab with Santa. Let's see what he's got in his sack.
The gaunt-faced man looks thoroughly miserable. He sees you and shrinks back, telling you that it is not worth robbing him because he has no money. You tell him that you do not wish to rob him, but you are seeking an old wizard named Nicodemus. He stares at you with a surprised expression on his face and says, "For 2 gold pieces, I'll tell you where he is."
Bloody hell, what a cheapskate Santa is. Jesus Christ.
Ho ho ho, don't rob me, I swear. There's nothing in this giant sack.
Wait for this. For 2 gold pieces, I'll tell you where he is. You decide to trust the man and pay him for the information. Ian,
Yes,
we don't have 2 gold pieces.
I do decide to do that, correct.
He pockets the gold and says, "You are standing on top of him. Nicodemus lives in a hut underneath this bridge." Oh, waste. What a waste. He throws back his head and lets out a shrill laugh before hobbling off on his crutches.
We can all laugh, Santa.
Imagine Santa doing a shrill laugh. Ho, ho, ho!
What a dingus Santa is. Absolute dope.
You shake your head and walk over to the steps that lead down beneath the bridge.
Bloody Santa.
The smell by the water's edge is terrible. Above you, you hear the sound of footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundations of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct your view into the hut, but you know you are not welcome when you read the words "Keep Out" painted on the door in large red letters. You draw in a deep breath and knock on the door. You hear muttering and the shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before you stands a white-haired old man with a long beard, wearing long white robes.
Santa.
He looks at you sternly and says,
Explain yourself to Nicodemus.
you are elated at finding Nicodemus, and you tell him that Zanbar Bones' reign of terror in the town of Silverton, and why Owen Caroliff asked you to find his old friend to help them.
I would not have told him that. I couldn't remember any of that story. Something about some dogs and Owen Quill.
Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside his hut, telling you to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to speak in a calm voice.
I am old and tired and wish for no more adventure. I live here under the Singing Bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas for aid from people fallen on hard times. Hence, no one bothers me. But I do wish to help my old friend Owen Caroliff. I will tell you how to defeat the Night Prince Zanbar Bone. Listen carefully. Remember, you may defeat him only after sunset. In daylight hours, he exists on another plane. No doubt, he will have his servants to protect him. But should you get past them, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect yourself from his entrancing stare, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead.
Of course.
Normal weapons will not harm him.
Only this very convoluted tattoo will.
First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow. This will paralyze him, but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and a lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he will decay before you in seconds. If your arrow misses, I'm afraid you will die the moment he touches you. The items for the compound can all be found in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough. I regret I cannot accompany you, because it's very hard to write 2 people into a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Nicodemus then draws you a map of how to reach Zanbar Bone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up, shakes your hand, and wishes you well. You leave his hut, climb the steps, and cross the bridge over Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. If you wish to walk west down Harbour Street, turn to 91, or if you wish to continue east down Candle Street, turn to 238. So, just to reiterate that, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need something that shoots arrows, you're going to need a silver arrow, and then you're going to need to make a ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and a lotus flower. Oh, and you're going to need to get a tattoo on your head.
What a load of faff.
This is a very
More
much...
faff.
I think this one's too big. Right, are you going down Harbour Street or Candle Street?
I mean, am I supposed to be going towards something now? Is this map something I can follow? I wasn't listening to him.
No, he's given you a map of how to get to Zanbar Bones Gaff, but
Right.
that's outside of Port Blacksand.
Yeah, let's go down Candle Street.
On the right side of the street, you see a small alleyway between two houses. The alley soon ends at a doorway with 6 skulls painted on it, 1 black and 5 white. If you wish to walk down the alley and open the door, turn to 27. If you'd rather continue east, turn to 139.
Let's continue east. Fuck it.
You're not getting involved in that.
No. I'm steering clear of that.
I wonder how many
Don't see
things
that
you
with a
can
10-foot
just
pole.
not do until the game just goes, right, you're dead then.
Yeah, because you're not opening yourself up to all the fucking... You get trapped in a giant box, you fall into the river, you get speared by this goblin. It's not got the opportunity to insta-kill you if you don't engage with it. So that's going to be Bianca's policy from that one. A no-fuss playthrough of the City of Thieves.
Well, this is true. It's not going to be a very good podcast if we have to read through the start
It's
of the book
already
again.
not going to be a very good podcast.
Yeah, it's already very dry.
Let's
So,
double down.
Walking down the street, you are suddenly halted by a plant pot smashing onto the cobblestones in front of you. You look to the left and see an open window. Inside, voices can be heard arguing. They're having a domestic. The door to the house is open. Why is everyone's fucking door open?
I know, yeah. You wouldn't think this in the City of Thieves, would you?
But this book was written in the 80s.
That'd be the one thing you do close. Exactly. You could do that back then.
It was
in
a
the good
different
old
time.
days. Even in the City of Thieves, there used to be a lot less crime around here in the 80s.
If you wish to enter the house to find out what the argument is about,
Why not?
walk in and go, what are you guys arguing about? It's someone else's house. Hey, what's up?
Sounds like a pretty absorbing row you're having in here.
You know you dropped
Care
a
to fill
plant
me
pot.
You dropped your-
Do you want to go into the house, or would you like to ignore the arguments and continue east?
Yeah, well, I know Bianca established a no faffing about policy, but to be fair, she's gotten pretty intrigued by this disturbance. Let's go
Little
and check
row.
it out. Yeah.
You enter the house and find yourself standing in a room full of toys. But they are not ordinary toys. These are stuffed creatures with nails through their heads, dolls' houses that are made to look as if they are on fire, and many other unpleasant objects. In the middle of the room stand 2 old women dressed as though they were little girls. Ugh. They are squabbling over a carved wooden duck. Each looks eager to destroy the duck with the knives that they're holding.
carved Daffy Duck toy back.
On seeing you, the women both start to shout, "Give us toys! Give us toys!" If you wish to give them something from your backpack, make the necessary deduction on your adventure sheet. If you would rather leave the strange old ladies, continue east. I mean, there's no rules on what you can give them here. Can you just give them provisions? Do you want to give them a scran?
Might as well give him a sword here.
The women immediately start arguing again over your gift to them, ignoring you completely.
What's there to argue about? This is a toy,
It's
my
just a
dears.
pepper army. You look around the room and see a table set for a meal. There are 2 bowls of hot soup on the table, waiting to be drunk. Do you eat soup or do you drink it?
It very much depends on the soup, doesn't it?
I think you eat soup. I think Ian Livingston's a nutcase for writing drink.
I think you can slurp certain kinds of soup. If it's smoothie-esque, I think you can give that a slurp.
If you wish to pick up a wooden spoon and drink some of the soup, turn to 68. If you'd rather leave the old ladies and continue east, turn to
Right, now he's
378.
really confusing matters. Trying to pick up a fork and slurp it up.
If you've got a spoon, you're not drinking the soup, are you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you can definitely drink soups, but not with a spoon.
No, you can't drink anything if you're using cutlery.
But anyway, let's have a slurp.
You're going to drink some of this
Actually,
soup?
no. There's nothing nothing good can become of this.
I don't know.
No way.
A lot of the time, I'm not telling you what to do, but in this book, a lot of the moments where you give something, you get something back.
Yeah, they seem unhinged. I don't want to be rude, but they seem odd.
Well, they're certainly
Eccentric.
not hinged. Like,
No, there's a lack of hinging in this household.
Yeah.
It's not a nuclear family, let's say that. And
Yeah.
I'm getting quite nervous about what the setup is here. But fuck it, let's have it. Let's drink it with a spoon.
you're gonna swig the soup. The soup tastes absolutely disgusting. If you wish to swallow it, turn to 380. If you wish to spit it out, turn to 262. He's really giving you a chance.
I know, but I feel they're gonna hate if I spit this out. Let's just gun it down. Let's just swig.
When we drink with Bianca, Bianca is our mate. When we drink with Bianca, she turns to 380. Despite its rotten taste, the soup includes herbs blended in an ancient tradition, which are beneficial to health. Add 4 stamina points. Feeling somewhat revitalised, you decide to leave the ladies to their argument and head east. Eventually, the street comes to a dead end at a high stone wall. There are stone steps leading to the top of the wall, and on the other side of the wall you can hear grunts, growls and cheering. If you wish to climb over the wall, turn to 40, and if you wish to walk back to the junction and head east down Harbour Street, turn to 91.
So there's a wall I can hear cheering on the other side.
Grunts, growls and cheering.
Fuck it, let's scale the wall.
I haven't done any climbing yet.
Wait, yeah, this is new ground.
It's long overdue. From the top of the wall, you see that it encircles a group of brown creatures playing some kind of game with a wooden stick and a small leather ball. One of the creatures has just hit the ball and is running towards a creature from the other team who has his foot on a cloth bag. You realise that these creatures are bays playing their favourite game, baseball. Ugh. If you wish to join in their game...
Hold on, did you make that up as a joke, or is that in the book?
That's in the book.
No, it is not. That's such a you joke to make that there's no way that's written down.
Benny, you're kidding, I'm telling you. You realise these creatures are bays playing their favourite game,
You said that the first
baseball.
time when you made it up.
If you...
I can't lie twice. Listen to me say it again.
Alright,
There's
mate.
proof.
Call my bluff. Let's start playing baseball, alright? And if... I'm telling you...
And see how fast I can fathom rules out of my
Exactly.
head. I was
If you wish
bays.
to... B-A-Y-S.
Christ.
And it's written... Baseball is B-A-Y-S apostrophe ball. So it's the ball that belongs to bays.
Okay. That makes all the difference. I
You
thought Livingston was
son of a
phoning it in.
bitch.
I thought he was phoning it in here, but that's okay.
Do you want to play baseball, or would you rather climb back down the wall and return to the junction and head west?
I mean, we can't climb back over the wall and just ignore this affair, can we?
Oh, it's a bit of baseball. Yeah, I'll go back the other way.
Have fun, fellas.
Right, let's play some baseball. The bays have difficulty in explaining themselves, but you manage to understand that one of the other team is going to throw the ball at you. Wow, they've really... There was no preamble to you starting. It's just cut straight to you at the plate holding the stick.
Yeah, the starting pitcher is wheeling up.
You are handed the wooden stick and told that if you hit the ball over the wall, you will win the game for them. Roll 2 dice. Oh, mate, this is a walk-off situation. You could get a walk-off home run right now. It's the bottom of the 9th. The Port Blacksand Pirates. Roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your skill score, you hit the ball powerfully in the middle of the bat and watch it soar over the wall. If the number rolled is greater than your skill score, the ball goes whistling by your midriff as you swing. So, roll 2 dice. If it's over your skill score, you suck.
Right, my skill score is 8.
Oh,
Let's swing. Dun 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 dun. 9.
A voice behind you calls, "You're out!" and you turn to 266. I
Fuck
reckon.
you, fuck you.
I reckon the fucking bays are gonna kill you now, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
I need my manager to come out and just really shout at this umpire. No way it's on a strike, you blind cunt.
The benches are gonna clear. The bays on your side are angry with you for losing the match.
The Tampa Bay Bays.
Holy shit, it's going on. Some of their supporters rush over and start to jostle you. By the time you manage to drag yourself over the wall, why is he not taking? Why isn't Bianca just taking the exit? She's like, I'll just go the way that I came. I'll scale this wall again.
I'll go over the wall like a home run should. I'm gonna home run away.
By the time you manage to drag yourself over the wall, everyone in the arena seems to have pushed you around. Lose 2 items from your backpack.
Is there anybody here that hasn't pushed me around yet? Well, I lose 2 items from my backpack.
Yeah.
God, the mechanics in this book are all about fucking pinching, aren't they? It really is the City of Thieves.
Yeah. When Ian Livingstone says something, he fucking means it, mate. It's no half measures.
Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice my rope and my lantern.
Oh, what? You know, how many provisions have you got?
Oh, hold on. Can I sack off provisions?
Yeah, fuck it.
Did we say I gave a provision to the eccentric old ladies?
Yeah, to the nanas.
Right, I was on 6 then after that. So what? How many provisions did these folks rob me of?
The bay's pinched 2.
God,
You're gonna be starving, Marvin.
I know I am. Honestly, Hank.
Right, so there you go, you've lost some chow. You pass a beggar in the street. He is sitting in the gutter and holds an empty tin in his hands. If you wish to toss a gold piece into his tin, turn to 332. If you'd rather walk past him, turn to 124. If this guy is pissed off,
throw one in.
But if this guy is pissed off about you not giving him any gold, he's got a lot to think about because you have less gold than him.
Yeah, you can't even understand the level of destitution that I'm on. Raggedy old man.
I've just been robbed by sports fans. Alright, so you're gonna have to turn to 124, mate. You can't give this guy cash.
I do wish to.
That's a dark line to go down, mate. If we're gonna start doing that,
We've been down the lane. We're several miles down the lane.
No. We've just been exploiting Ian's failures, where he hasn't put into account that you might not have cash.
Okay. Sorry, mate. I got no change.
That's it. Yeah, you're gonna have to do what I heard a guy say once in Hanley. He walked past a homeless guy who was like, "You got any change, mate?" And he goes, "Have I got any? You've probably got more than me, mate. Honestly, I'm skint." Like he really just needed to really force the issue.
Yeah,
He couldn't just say no.
not a
I
good
don't have any
look, is
change. No, it really wasn't. And that guy was me.
Me guy.
A narrow alleyway runs south off the street between 2 houses. If you wish to walk down the alleyway, turn to 326, and if you would rather continue along Harbour Street, turn to 180.
Let's continue down Harbour Street.
Ahead, you hear the noisy clatter of galloping hooves on the cobblestones. You hear the noise of wooden wheels and an urging voice, followed by the crack of a whip. Someone is rapidly approaching in a horse-drawn carriage. If you wish to see who it is, turn to 344, and if you'd rather hide out of sight behind a barrel and watch the carriage pass by, turn to 34.
I'm going to see who it is. I'm going to be bold.
You're going to stand brazenly in the street and gawk.
Come at me.
You step into the middle of the street and wait. Suddenly, a pair of horses come galloping into view, pulling an ornate gold carriage. The driver sees you and, cracking his whip, yells, "Make way for Lord Azur!" If you wish to step out of the path of the oncoming carriage, turn to 58. If you wish to stay where you are, turn to 252. You're defo gonna die if you don't move.
Let's turn to page 252.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I don't move for any man.
The carriage is not going to stop. Suddenly the 4 horses,
Well,
their eyes
someone's
wide
gonna
with
stop me,
terror,
it's not gonna be me.
are almost on top of you. You must dive to one side to avoid being run down. Test your luck. If you are lucky, escape the injury from the horses as you land in the gutter. If you are unlucky, you are trampled underfoot by one of the horses.
Right, well, this is becoming increasingly clear that this is a high-risk strategy, and I hope
Yeah.
that Lord Azur admires my ballsiness, because otherwise there's going to be no benefit.
He's going to, "Oh, sorry, mate, I almost ran you down there. Oh, my God. I don't know why I didn't stop. I'm sorry, mate. Here is 30 gold and a silver bolt."
Okay, roll 2 dice.
Yeah.
And it has to be lower than 8, and it is lower than 8, it's a 7.
Oh, Ooh.
Lucky.
I feel like this is one of the things where if you're lucky, it just means you don't die, and if you're unlucky, it means that you die.
Well, that's the luckiest you can be.
You stand up and brush yourself down, thinking that you would like to meet this Lord Azur another day. The carriage races off out of view,
Not today.
and you set off west again.
How does next Tuesday work for you, Lord Azure?
The street gradually starts to run downhill. The houses end at a tavern called the Black Lobster, and the street opens out onto a quayside. A stone jetty runs out to sea, and tied to it is an old galleon. It is flying the Skull and Crossbones, and is probably one of the many pirate ships that anchor in Port Blacksand to offload their
But we
booty.
can't be sure.
Well, you know, the Skull and
Don't judge a
Crossbones,
ship by its flag.
it's really quite prejudiced to assume that they're pirates just because of the
Exactly.
flag, okay? Just because they're
Exactly.
using a
Might
pirate
just
flag,
be goths.
there's pirates going in and out of the ship, and also they're all saying, "Wow, I love being a pirate." Doesn't mean that they're pirates, okay?
Yeah, they might just be Motorhead.
If you wish to walk down the jetty to climb on board the ship, turn to 399, or if you wish to walk north up Harbour Street, turn to 78.
I'm
That's
gonna walk
great.
on. I'm
You
gonna
just
walk
fucking
on. I'm
bomb
just
onto
gonna
the ship.
walk on this pirate ship. What's the crack on here then, lads?
Avast me, mateys, what's up? a rope ladder hangs down. How out, lads? I'm just like, fucking hell, I've just visited a wizard, but I was thinking, like, pirates are pretty cool, innit? So, like, what do you guys do for fun? A rope ladder hangs down from the stern of the ship to the jetty. There is also a gangplank leading up the side of the ship. If you wish to board the ship by climbing the rope ladder, turn to 87, or to walk straight up the gangplank, turn to 294.
Wait, hold on. Do I have to go in the ship then?
Didn't you say you're going to go up the ship?
No, I thought I was going north, wasn't I?
Oh, right, okay. The street runs north along the quayside for a few hundred metres before arriving at a junction. If you wish to continue north up Harbour Street, turn to 256, and if you wish to walk east along Clog Street, turn to 216.
Let's shuffle down Clog Street noisily.
Clog Street is very narrow and lined with terraced cottages and the occasional shop. To your left, you see what looks like a small boy lying face down on the cobblestone, loudly groaning. A hood is pulled over his head, and you
Jesus.
cannot see his face. A wooden hoop and stick lie by his side. He's had a hoop and stick accident. If you wish to stop to help him, turn to 72, or if you would rather walk on, turn to 317. I reckon this isn't a little boy. I reckon it's a dwarf that's like trapping you into a... I reckon like you go
Yeah.
over to help him and he's like... Meh.
Yeah, I'm struggling to picture an 8-year-old boy who's just lying there going "Ugh," like that. It just seems improbable. I'm gonna skirt around this.
I think that's a good move because I really do reckon it's just a middle-aged man who's happens to be a bit shorter.
Yeah.
One of the shops to your left is a candle maker's. There are many different coloured candles burning brightly in the window. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 241, or if you wish to continue east, turn to 280.
Yeah, let's see what this candle shop's about.
Inside the shop, you see a tall, thin man with pointed ears and fair hair. It's Stephen Merchant, pouring
That's
hot
what I was
wax from an iron pan. Right, mate? I just make candles. The candle maker is an elf. As he turns to you to speak, you notice his slanted eyes, which are ice blue. For some reason, they appear very cold to you. He tells you that all his coloured candles cost 1 gold piece each. You may buy as many as you wish. He then asks you if you would
I'd
like
wish to buy
see...
loads.
Well, tough. He asks you if you would like to see one of his magic candles in the back room. If you wish to see one, turn to 63. If you'd rather leave the shop and head east, turn to 280.
Mate, I'd love to see one of your magic candles.
You'll never believe this. I've got magic candles in the back. Yeah, I've been working on them. Magic candle. Do you want to see his magic candles?
Yeah, I do. Show us your magic candle, Stephen. Get your magic candle out for the lads.
The elf leads you into a room lit by purple candles, he's got a big candle thing going on, hasn't he?
You fucking look. Is this guy obsessed with candles or something?
You stand
Why has he
and
got so many
stare.
candles?
You stare blankly at the candles. Yeah.
Unamused. I've seen better candles.
You stare blankly at the candles and drift off into a world of vivid dreams. While you're in this trance...
What a boring load of candles they are.
While you're in this trance, the elf takes 2 items and 5 gold pieces from your backpack. When you
What
awake...
is it with a 2-item rule?
I know,
You
what the
must steal a
fuck?
minimum of 2 items.
You have no recollection of the theft and leave the
No, I
shop.
don't. I remember he was there. He was on
No,
page
you don't remember
340.
anything, mate. You don't remember anything.
Bastard.
You leave the shop thanking the elf for showing you this.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Outside, you head east again. So what 2 items are you going to take out of your backpack?
I hope it fucking burns down, Stephen, quite frankly. I hope you enjoy my rope and my lantern. Oh yeah, because you could do with another source of light, couldn't you, you fucking little cunt. What a greedy bastard.
Just
Rope
keep the
and
candle
lantern.
look there. I'm just going to nip into your pocket here. Don't worry about it. It's just taking your lantern here. Further along the street on the left is another shop. It's fucking just endless shops. This is boring as fuck, man. A sign outside reads, Ben Borryman, silversmith. If you wish to enter the shop, fucking hell.
No, listen, as an expert on the name Ben, nobody would be called Ben Borryman. I'm sorry, but that just doesn't work as a name. Ben
Well-
Borryman.
Are you calling me a liar? Do you think this is another baseball incident? If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 213, or if you'd rather keep going east, turn to 100. Now, you need silver. You need a silver arrow. But you're fucked, aren't you? Because you don't have any cash, so what's the plan?
Yeah, but it can't put it behind a paywall for me, surely. if that's the end game item,
It's a
can't
pay
just
to
be
win.
like,
This game's pay to win. It's
give me
bullshit.
the battle pass. Let's go see what Benjamin Borryman's deal is.
I think he's going to be a weird as fuck guy, to be honest.
I guess called Benjamin Borryman.
A man wearing a white apron is sitting at a bench, busily
What a weirdo.
polishing a silver goblet. There are several silver objects in a glass cupboard secured by an iron grill at the back of the shop. You may talk to the silversmith, attack him with your sword, or leave the shop and continue east.
Let's talk to Mr. Borryman.
You ask Ben Borryman if he has any silver arrows for sale. He replies that he does not, but will make one for you at the cost of 10 gold pieces or 2 magic items. If you can afford his asking price, turn to
A
85.
roller coaster of a conversation.
If you cannot afford to pay the price, turn to 42. You've got how many magic items? You've got the helmet.
And that's the end. That's all I've got.
Is that all you've got, full stop?
I've got a magic helmet and 4 magic sandwiches. Ooh. Ooh.
Are we going to have to cheat here? Are we going to have to
Well,
make
we're
one
gonna-
of your
we're-
sandwiches a magic sandwich?
We're going to have to just turn to whatever page it was and kill him, I guess.
You're going
I
to kill
guess
him?
it's R.I.P. Borryman.
You tell the man that you cannot pay the price he is asking. He shrugs his shoulders and says, well, do you have any food? He opens your backpack and he takes all your remaining provisions.
What a greedy bastard.
What the fuck? This game's so unbalanced. He then starts to cast the silver arrow and you wait patiently as he makes it. Finally, he presents you with it and he assures you that it will be accurate in flight. You thank him for his trouble. Thank him for he's just fucking taken all of your food. And leave his shop. Outside, you set off east again. It's just fucking daylight robbery.
Yeah, and this adventure relies on an arrow that's equivalent to 4 sandwiches. What kind of an arrow is that?
I mean, it's lucky that you've traded your sandwiches loads before, because imagine if you still had 9 provisions left and he goes, I'm going to eat all your fucking
But yeah, that's
cabbages."
true. Yeah, it did soften the blow.
Of this 4 sandwicher.
You arrive at a junction. If you wish to turn north into Tower Street, turn to 127, and if you wish to continue east into Stable Street, turn to 246. Tower or Stable?
Right. And in Tower you lose 2 items from your backpack, and in Stable Street you lose 4 sandwiches. So what's it going to be? Take your pick. You're going to lose something.
You've literally run out of stuff to lose other than the gold helmet that you've quite bravely been swanning about in this City of Thieves. You've got a bright gold magical horned helmet and everyone's going,
helmet.
"Oh, let's take that guy's sandwiches." Even the dwarves who knocked you out went, "Oh, he's got 30 gold. We'll leave his ornate magical helmet."
Don't touch your man's army. Come on, that's too far,
That's
mate.
too
That's
far.
too far.
It's not right. There's a code.
Osh. Let's go to Stable Street.
As you walk warily down the narrow cobbled street, you are suddenly confronted by a little old man who dashes out one of the houses. He pulls a dirty bottle out of a canvas bag. As he speaks, you can't help staring at the large wart on his nose with its tufts of hair. He smiles and asks if you would like to pay 2 gold pieces for a drink of his wonderful healing potion. If you wish to pay for a drink, turn to 98. If you would rather keep going east, turn to 363. Well, you can't,
Let's
so...
keep going east.
There's so many gold interactions in this book. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of gold transaction-based interactions for a book that robbed me of all of my gold about 40 seconds into the story.
In the middle of the street, you see a large manhole cover. If you wish to lift the manhole cover to see where it leads to, turn to 48. If you wish to keep walking east, turn to 205. Again, this is a real test of character because there's every chance that you're going to be really rewarded for opening this manhole cover, and there's also an equal or if not more likely chance that you open the manhole cover and you die instantly.
Yeah, I just fall through it like Buster Keaton. Let's open it up. Let's prise open this man's hole.
You open it and find that it's called the City of Thieves because it's a man who is a thief and people built a city on him. You've just stepped into his arsehole. There is an iron ladder secured to the rim of a hole, descending into a tunnel below. It is dark and a very unpleasant smell rises up from it. If you wish to climb down the ladder, turn to 321, and if you wish to replace the manhole cover and to continue east, turn to 205.
Let's continue east. I'm not getting involved in
You're
that.
not going in the hole.
No.
After replacing the manhole cover, you set off east again. Everything seems a little too quiet, and you begin to feel nervous. Ahead, you see that Stable Street turns sharply to the left. If you wish to walk around the corner, turn to 44. If you wish to walk back to the junction and turn right into Tower Street, turn to 127. What a weird warning. Why is it giving you this warning that nothing good can come of this?
Yeah, let's walk around the corner.
Standing in a line across the street are 3 tall men, each armed with a spiked club. You notice that each has a red star tattooed on his forehead. They are vagabonds, intent on robbing you. If you have a throwing knife, you may be able to cut one down before they reach you. If you do not have a throwing knife, you will have to fight all 3 of them with your sword.
I've got nothing left to lose, boys.
This is going to be well awkward. You're going to have to fight 3 of them at once.
I haven't even got any fucking sandwiches that can nick off me.
Each vagabond boasts that he can kill you single-handed. They decide to fight you one at a time. Great. Thanks, Ian. You knew that was going to be too much, didn't you, Ian? Right, mate. First one's got 5 stamina and 7 skill. And we're off.
2 dice. 11.
10. Yes! Right, it's down to 3 stamina. Let's go again. 16.
17.
Oh!
Bianca's on a roll.
14.
18.
Oh, shit, you got him. Wow, right, okay, that's 1 down.
Bloody hell, Bianca.
Right,
Come
next
on,
one's
lad.
got 6 skill but 7 stamina.
Right.
12.
13.
Oh my god, right, he's on 5 stamina. 10.
16. Bianca, man, this helmet. I love the helmet. I'm never going to lose it.
17.
17.
Okay, nothing happens.
Ching.
Oh god. 18.
17.
Oh damn, right, you lose 2.
No, Bianca's on 14 stamina.
10.
More than 10.
Yeah.
It's a cop-out answer, but it's true.
Right, he's on 1 stamina.
Yes.
14.
20.
Oh my god. Right, 3rd vagabond. You've only taken 1 hit. This is insane.
Come on, Bianca.
Uh,
14.
14. 13. Yes. Right, he's on 4 stamina. Here we go. Ooh, 14.
15.
Holy shit. If you get this hit now, you've killed 3 blokes in one go.
Come on, big man.
17.
18.
Wow! Get She's just fucking squirming around in the blood of these 3 muggers. No wonder the vagabonds wanted to rob you. They only have 1 gold piece between them. You find nothing else of interest in their pockets, and so decide to head off north along Stable Street. That's so funny. It's such a hard battle, and they go, nothing happened.
Yeah.
The houses in this section of Stable Street consist of 2 rows of terraces. They're all made of sandstone, apart from one in the middle of the terrace to your right, which is made of brick and is painted white. The door is made of oak and a serpent's head is carved into it. If you wish to enter the house, turn to 131, and if you wish to keep walking north, turn to 333.
Let's keep walking north.
To your left, you see a large wooden barn set back from the houses. 2 horses are tied to a post outside the barn. The smoke rises from a crooked chimney on the top its low flat roof. If you wish to walk through the barn doors, turn to 25, and if you'd rather continue heading north, turn to 115.
Let's go through the barn doors.
Be bold, be bold. Run into a
bold,
sexy
yeah.
farmer and run away with him. You soon realise you're in a stable when you see a large, bare-chested man wearing a grubby white apron, busy at work at an open fire. He takes a red-hot iron bar from the fire with his gloved hand and starts to hammer it into the shape of a horseshoe on his anvil. Sweat pours from his brow as he toils with the hammer. Will you make conversation with the hunky blacksmith? Attack the hunky blacksmith with your sword? Or leave the hunky blacksmith to his labours and continue north?
Let's make a bit of conversation.
Do you come here often? Yes, I live and work here. Ah, that's got to be fun. Not really. The blacksmith removes his gloves and wipes his hand on his apron before asking you what you want. You answer by asking if he makes anything besides horseshoes.
What an awkward character, Bianca. So is it just horseshoes or nails?
No, just horseshoes, that's great. He replies that in his spare time, he enjoys making chainmail coats. In fact, it has become quite a profitable sideline of his, especially in a place like Port Blacksand. He tells you in great detail of the skill and labour that goes into making one, and finally inquires if you're interested in buying one. They are not
5
cheap.
gold pieces.
If you wish to pay 20 gold pieces for a chainmail coat, turn to 46, and if you wish to leave the stables without buying a coat, turn to 150. In what world does anyone at this point in the book have 20 gold pieces still?
Yeah, no.
What is Ian playing at?
Has he read this book? Does he know what happens?
It's
What a
honestly
maniac.
like he wrote all the entries at different points and just wrote random links between them. And he didn't think about the
Yeah.
fact that 4 pages in, you can get mugged and lose all of your money. And then 2 minutes later, a bloke scoffs all your sarnies.
Yeah, it's the first choose your own adventure book to be written by AI. It just doesn't understand any of the previous paragraphs.
Coming towards you as fast as he is able is a man in tattered rags with a ball and chain attached to his leg. He is exhausted and collapses in your arms. His face is dirty and unshaven. With great difficulty he manages to speak, saying,
Please, cut me free. The town guards are not far behind me. I've been locked in a dungeon for 2 years, but managed to tunnel my way out. I was robbed and unable to pay my taxes, so Lord Azul ordered me. I should be jailed for 5 years. Please, help me.
Farther up the street, you hear shouting voices and then armed men come into view. If you want to cut through his chains with your sword, turn to 90, and if you want to hand him over to the town guards, turn to 274. I think you've got to be a snitch here, mate.
Well, I was going to say, if you've already done 2 years now, then you're just going to harm your chances of parole by trying to escape. But Bianca's been pretty buoyed by that last encounter with those 3 vagabonds.
That's true.
She's gonna have a scrap.
Well, Bianca reckons she can take on the guards.
She's gonna have these guards, yeah, easy.
You swing your sword with all your strength and bring it down on the heavy chain. Much to your surprise, it bounces off. Before you have time to try again, you are
That has
surrounded by
surprised
4 town guards who are pointing their pikes at you.
kill me, don't fucking insta-kill me, Ian.
Will
Don't
you?
insta-kill me.
Will you? You're not dead yet, mate, but this could all change. Tell them you have caught the escaped prisoner for them, or offer them a bribe to
I
let
got
you
him.
and the prisoner
He's
go
trying to
free.
escape, man, I got him. Right, so my options are grass him up or bribe him to let him go.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you say bribe, it's going to
Yeah.
say give him X amount of gold or 1 item from your backpack, or maybe it might even say 2. The problem is, you've only got 1 item in your backpack, and it's that very cool helmet.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to just grass this guy up. Sorry.
You give him a really
Sorry.
apologetic look and go, mate, the helmet, I can't, come on, you get it right.
Look at the helmet, man. Look at the helmet.
You think I'm going to give this up? You're mental. You tell the town guards that you are a bounty hunter. They seem pleased that you have caught their wanted man. The chief guard walks over to you and hands you 5 gold pieces, saying, this murderer won't escape again. Here's your reward. He then
Crime
rejoins the other
doesn't
guards.
pay.
You decide to head quickly north in case the murderer tries to implicate you. On the right hand side, the houses are separated from the street by a wooden fence with shrubbed trees, bushes and flowers behind it. There is a turnstile in the middle of the fence, by the side of which is a sign reading Public Gardens, entry fee 1 gold piece. What the fuck? If you wish to go into the gardens, turn to 370, and if you'd rather keep on walking, turn to 133.
I can pay some of my hard-earned cash to go and see this Chelsea flower show type affair. No way. I'm gonna go past it.
The street ends at a junction with Mill Street, which runs east and west along the city wall. Looking east, you see a group of town guards marching towards you, and you decide to walk quickly west along Mill Street. On your left, you see a narrow lane, and ahead you see a young lad coming towards you, pushing a barrow laden with fruit. If you wish to walk down the lane, turn to 182, and if you wish to buy some fruit from the barrow boy, turn to 160.
Nah, I'm gonna walk past this guy.
The lane ends at a small shop. On the glass-paned door is a sign painted, Jimmy Quick Tint, best tattooist in town. A tiny bell a tiny bell rings as you push the door open, and a fat man wearing purple silk smiles in greeting. It's Prince
Jimmy.
again. You are surprised to
Fat
see
Prince.
that his arms, hands, feet, and even his face are completely covered in colourful tattoos. He grins and says, "Practice what you preach." You You tell him that you require a yellow sun to be tattooed on your forehead with a white unicorn in the centre of it.
A yellow sun, Bart Simpson.
He replies that it is a simple task, but it will cost you 10 gold pieces. If you cannot afford his high price, turn to 279. You can't, can you? You've only got 5.
Cannot know. Discounts, mates rated?
The tattooist looks at you with a bored expression on his face and says,
Bloody hell.
well, you don't expect me to do it free for you, do you? If you've got anything worth selling, go next door. My stepbrother lives there, and he's a pawnbroker. Tell him I sent you, and maybe he'll give you a good
pawns
price.
broke.
If you go in there with any pawn, he'll break it.
Some jazz bags. You'll smash him.
He's going to smash up your ornate pawn. You walk outside and knock on the wooden door of the next house. A squint-eyed man
Goodbye,
opens the
helmet.
door, and you tell him that you want to sell some items so that you can
No, I
afford
don't.
to have a tattoo.
I didn't say that at
The
all.
man asks you to come into his house, and you
When
enter
did
a
I say
room
that?
piled high
When
with
did I
all
say that?
kinds of objects, furniture, armours, curios, and pottery. He explains that he has a stall in the market which he rents once a week. He then tells you that he is currently interested in buying, and the prices he is offering. So he's offering a silver goblet, 8 gold pieces. What item do you have on you right now?
The magic helmet. Oh, a rope and lantern, actually. Still got those.
No, they got pinched, didn't they?
No, I gave the sarnies instead.
Oh, sound.
I think that's what was pinched by the baseball fans.
Oh, the Bays boys.
Yeah.
There is a helmet listed on here, but it's not listed as a magic helmet or anything. But I'm assuming that there's only one helmet in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You can get 7 gold pieces for it.
Nothing for the rope and lantern.
No, they're not on there.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. I'll read some of the others, though, because it's quite weird. There's a scorpion brooch. But the most troubling thing is you can sell knuckle bones, and I'm hoping that's just not just the bones off your fingers.
Yeah.
I really need this fucking tattoo, mate. I'll give you my fucking fingers. And it's for 1 gold piece each. So if you could just fucking chop 10 of your fingers off to buy this thing.
And the worst thing is, I need the tattoo on my knuckles. And I need thug life on my knuckles. It's a catch-22. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking put 7 gold. Is that it? You fucking robbing cunt.
This came out of a fucking smoke. Have you ever seen a helmet come out of smoke before? This is priceless.
Do you have any idea how many guys I've decked wearing this helmet? 3! 3 wee tall guys.
About 40 minutes ago. And then, really, nothing since then, so... It says, you may sell the pawnbroker any of your possessions. You bid him farewell and walk outside. Oh, wow, so you don't even have a choice about selling these. If you still cannot afford one, you will have to come back again later. You can walk up the lane and turn left into Mill Street. But are you going to sell your helmet, are you?
I gotta sell the helmet, aren't I?
Once again, you walk
Wait,
into
does that mean that my luck drops back down to 7?
Yeah. Yeah, it does, mate. It's not if we're being fair, you know, it's only because you were wearing the helmet that you were lucky.
Fuck me, man.
Once again, you walk into the tattooist shop and are greeted by Jimmy Quick Tint. He is obviously pleased that you are back to give him some business. Obviously.
God.
He takes the money and motions you to sit down on a wooden stool. After a long and painful process of repeatedly pricking your head with a sharp needle.
This still. Oh, I forgot about the tattoo.
Yeah. It's just a really fucking painful chair. You look in a mirror on the wall and you find your new appearance somewhat strange. You shrug your shoulders and leave the shop. You then walk back up the lane and turn left into Mill Street. God, she got past it quickly, didn't she? Go, oh my god, that's... No, fuck it, man.
Oh, that's so strange.
Walking towards you along the street are 2 huge guards wearing the black uniform of Lord Azur. As they get closer, you see that they are trolls, brutal mercenaries employed by Lord Azur as Imperial elite guards.
A cab.
To To your right, there is a tree which almost reaches the top of the city wall. If you wish to risk walking past the trolls, turn to 290, and if you wish to climb the tree in order to get over the wall, turn to 11.
Let's do a bit of climbing. Let's get up this tree.
The climbing's been rewarding so far. We found out about baseball.
Exactly.
The trolls see what you are doing and run towards the tree. You are forced to leave your shield behind. Lose 1 skill point.
Didn't even know you had it, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's, After climbing quickly up the tree, you realise that you must jump a distance of 2 meters between the branch and the top of the wall. If you're wearing a chainmail coat, you will have to take that off in order to jump safely across the wall. Lose 2 skill points. Below, you see the 2 trolls running round the tree, waving their swords at you. There is no alternative but to jump. Well, that's good, mate. It's a good job you didn't waste your cash. That would have been 20 gold points down the shiter.
Yeah. But I would have had a name with the sexy blacksmith, though.
It's a close shave, but you just managed to grip the edge of the wall with your fingertips.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
You pull yourself up and climb onto a stone walkway along the top of the city wall. On either side of you are stone towers rising above the battlements, spaced some 100 meters apart. There are doors in the towers, both of which are suddenly flung open as more guards run out to capture you. There's a 20-meter drop on the other side of the wall. Will you jump to freedom, fix a climbing rope if you have one, to the wall and climb down the other side, or face the oncoming guards?
Yeah, let's jump.
The distance to the ground is... The distance to the ground is too great, even for a great warrior like yourself. You land badly and break your neck. The adventure ends here. City of Thieves. Bianca the Great, not great enough to land. She's dead as fuck. She hit the ground, exploded in a mess of tattoo ink and silver bolt. Was later found by Lord Azur, who said, "Bloody hell, she looks familiar. I'm almost something that I almost run her over the other day." Well, some kind of stupid prick that's standing in the road is also the same kind of idiot who would just jump off a wall after getting a head tattoo. I'm imagining she was on some sort of drugs. And then the name Bianca the Great was never said again. In the coming weeks, Lord Bone Brigade, or whatever his name was, had his little devil dogs hit up the town of Silverton so often that the people got so fed up they jumped into the mouths of the dogs until they all died. And then the bone bloke went, "Hold on, why did I do this in the first place? I can't remember what the point of...
There's something seriously wrong with me.
I can't remember why.
I've got a problem. Why do I act like this?
Why do I treat everyone with such dogs?"
And that was your idea of a joke, was it? That was a made-up entry? That was improvised, was it? Yeah.
No, everything I've just said was in the book.
Including the jump to the mouths of dog bit.
Yeah. What do you think, if you didn't die, the outcome of this book would have been?
I suspect I would have chopped down Daniel Bones, whatever his name was, and he would have turned into a fine-grained powder, and I would have snorted. I would have rolled up 20 quid and gone all like Daniel Bones and had a night to remember.
The end of the book is a 4-page bender where you and Lord Callum McGerald, or whatever his name was, just go off on a right night out up Port Blacksand and just mess up all the trolls that are looking nervous and kick all the little boys who are down on the ground next to their stick and hoop. And You rock up to the blacksmith and go, "You're never going to sell any of those coats if you're selling them at those prices, okay? It's too high. This is obviously a low-income area, all right, because the streets are fucking covered in shit. And you're here selling high-quality, artisanal fucking chainmail coats. You think anyone's going to buy those? There's fucking horse slop all over the streets. I almost got run over. People are selling me fucking flowers that I should put in dead dog. That's how prevalent dead dogs are around here. And you're trying to sell me a 20 quid coat?"
Now give me 2 of your magic items and get out of my fucking sight.
"I want my sandwiches back. I want them back." There, I said it. All right. It feels petty, but I don't care. I've had too many sandwiches robbed.
I can't stop thinking about those BLTs that you pinched off me in that alleyway. That co-op meal deal in the alleyway.
Yeah, that's how the book ends. That's entry number 400.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's not my book. I can't choose how it ends.
No, it's true. It's true.
Contrary to the USP of this series.
This one really didn't feel like a choose your own adventure book. It just felt like a choose how to get battered book.
Yeah, this was just a read your own fucking irritating storybook.
This was, I reckon this was written about a month after Ian Livingstone got mugged in London, and he just had a lot of trauma from it that he hadn't quite processed. And he was all just putting it into words. And then when he sent it to his publisher, they were like, "There's a lot of stealing in this one." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess I've been..."
There's a lot of stealing in the world, though, isn't there? When you go to the City of Thieves for a weekend, or London as I call it.
He went down to watch U2, and he ended up just getting mugged. Someone took all of his... He was carrying a backpack full of food.
10 days worth of sandwiches on his way to see you two. It's not a beautiful day anymore.
Yeah. And that was Friday night for us. That's how we've now just spent...
Yeah.
It's coming close to 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
2 3 hours.
That's not it, because I'm be editing.
And this was the Gumf Audio One-Off.